Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IPHatch Taipei launch event, Peace Future. Along with all our partners, is delighted to have the opportunity to bring this open innovation challenge to startup in Taiwan for the first time. Our theme for this event is empowering innovation and entrepreneurship with IP. Over the next hour, we have an exciting lineup for you. Our partner cooperation will share best practices and insights, followed by an engaging panel discussion on leveraging technology and intellectual property to accelerate startup growth and facilitate successful exit, featuring our diverse and esteemed panelists. Additionally, we have flown in 2 startups from Singapore and Hong Kong to share their journey in this program. Lastly, we will conclude the details about the program, how you can join, and the technology we are offering. Thank you for joining us. So without further ado, let's kick off today's session by welcoming Peace Future CEO Jason to the stage for the opening remarks.
Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you all for joining us in this inaugural Taipei IPHatch launch. I'm Jason, I'm the CEO of Peace Future. So first of all, I'm very, very grateful and very excited to be in Taipei for the first time to launch our program to all the startups. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the InnoVEX team for their hard work in making this event possible, and to Startup Terrace for their immense support and partnership. There's a slide on that. It's not working? Okay, well, it's okay. So we are also deeply appreciative of our corporate partners from Panasonic, from Nokia, from Cool Japan Fund, and our startups for flying in to join us today, sharing their valuable insights. For those of you who are not familiar with IPHatch, it is an open innovation program organized by Peace Future. We seek enthusiastic startups and founders who aspire to scale their businesses by incorporating patents and technology portfolios from renowned companies. We are pioneers in Asia, emphasizing and encouraging start companies to grow in the tech sector and become deep tech enterprises. Since our inception in 2017, we have proudly established this program in 10 locations worldwide and invested in 70 startups. Later today, I will share some exciting technologies from Nokia and Panasonic that we are introducing here in Taiwan. The awardees of these technologies will benefit from our 5-year incubation program, leveraging on our community and mentors to grow and excel. Today, we have an exciting lineup of activities. Our corporate partners will be providing an overview of their technology and focus area. Our startups will also be sharing their journeys with you. Please feel free to approach us with any question after this session. I will be more than happy to answer them. I believe Taiwan has a wealth of technology startups and talent that can leverage these exciting technologies that we're bringing out to Taiwan. We'll be rolling out a series of events, workshops, seminars for startups. So stay tuned for more of our activities and follow us on our LinkedIn page for more information. With that, thank you very much, and let's get this party going. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, for the opening remarks. I believe the audience are eagerly to participate, anticipating the first session where our corporate partner will share best practices and insights within the organizations. So let's invite Yoshinori Nakagawa IP expert from Panasonic Corporation to the stage to deliver the first keynote.
Hello, everyone. I am Nakagawa from Panasonic. It's a pleasure to speak at such exciting events in Taiwan. So today, I'd like to present the activities in Panasonic IP as well as my thoughts. So I think this will explain why we participate in IPHatch. So this is overview of Panasonic Group. Next, this is overview of Panasonic IP management, which I belong to. So this is 100% subsidiary of Panasonic, which specializing in IP. So we have advanced expertise in IP and provide various solutions. And now we are working on new initiatives. That is so-called IP-based open innovation, where we transfer IP to startup to commercialization. We started this activity since 2017. And we are evolving the methodologies. So now we are looking at startup. So speaking of startup, actually our founder, Matsushita, is also entrepreneur. So Panasonic was originally a startup as well. And we were focusing on IP from early days. I think this is common to all of you. So from those observations, I come up with 3 sets of hypotheses. The first one is that the successful company has good IP strategies. I think that is always true. Next statement, I think this is very unique, which is IP itself has power to unlock and drive innovation. So IP is a kind of tool, just a tool, but by having a tool, that may change the mindset of the owner of tool. So like this, I believe IP itself holds power to unlock, drive innovation. Then lastly, startup will take on the role of future innovation. I think this is, of course, true. So finally, those facts ultimately lead us to when ambitious startup utilize IP of large companies, significant innovation will occur. Then IPHatch is the place to do it. So today, I hope everyone get interested and join IPHatch. So let's make it happen together.
Thank you, Yoshinori Nakagawa-san. Next, let's welcome Yari Vario, Head of Asia APR Business Development of Nokia Technologies, to the stage for the keynote.
Thank you. It's very nice to be over here. It has been a long time I haven't been in Taipei, so it's nice to see the city developing so rapidly. I'm going to talk a little bit about Nokia first. What is Nokia? I think most of you think that Nokia is this or have an image of mobile phone manufacturer. But actually today we are business-to-business company. So we are developing technologies what are then to helping the world act together. And that's the basic how we are seeing the world. We are providing these new technologies, how we are able to create the better future, digital future as we see. And it's going to help the business, it's going to productivity, and it's providing this kind of new platform for innovation as well. So what does that mean is that it's all the connectivity what we are providing today. It's a connectivity what is enabling to put the new sensor activities, devices working together. All the IoT devices, whatever you can imagine, will be connected and connected in the cloud and the other devices. On the cloud side, we are providing different kinds of services, and also AI will be a big part of it there, doing this kind of new innovation activities. So what comes to patents? Nokia is handling all the patents with the Nokia technology named unit. And I'm coming from that unit. I have been in Asia almost 30 years already, mainly in Japan. I'm now located in Tokyo still. And in IP business, I have been more than 20 years. So my background is software, and I was also doing AI and all the kind of that kind of things before I ended up doing the patents. So with the patents, what the Nokia is doing, we have this patent licensing, what is very profitable business for Nokia. And the second one, what we are doing in Nokia Technologies is the technology licensing. These two areas are this kind of pillars where we are building our activity and how we can contribute on this IPHatch program as well. So we are very strong, at least we are thinking ourselves, very strong innovation leadership. Part of Nokia is the Bell Labs. Most older generation recognize the Bell Labs, the inventor of the Unix laser, you name transistor, all have been invented in the Bell Labs. And actually we do have 10 Nobel Awards within Nokia Bell Labs research work granted, awarded. And this is putting us a very leading position when it comes to this kind of a very wide area of research work what Bell Labs is still working on. We are generating 2,300 new inventions every year. So our portfolio is growing quite rapidly, and our innovation is not covering only this kind of communication technologies, but we are trying to keep it very open-minded to let the people to file the patents in different other purposes. And I'm coming back to that, why it's important in this particular program. In our field, we are very strongly participating in standards activities. And today, everybody is already using 5G. So the work within the company is already focusing on 6G. So we are very, very strong over there. There are mentioned a couple of programs where we are participating into, and that's creating already a lot of patents. When we are looking this patent leadership part, we have already declared more than 6,000 patents, the standard essential in 5G. So we believe that we are number one on this patenting area in that standard technologies. One point I wanted to point out here is that they said that our portfolio is roughly 20,000 patents. And we would like to keep the patent number roughly at that level. And when we are getting 2,300 patents every year, new one, we have to get rid of some of patents, even they are good patents. And what we do with those patents, they are coming to people like me who is looking at new business opportunities with those patents. And that's the link to this IPHatch program. And typically what we are doing with this money, what we are getting from the patent licensing, it's going back to this R&D cycle. It's very important for the startups also to realize that when you are having a patents, you will create the new patents and the new R&D on possible income of those licensing or other activities. So you have to keep this kind of cycle running in the future. Nokia is active on these 4 technology areas where we do have cellular standards, multimedia technologies, device technologies, and network technologies. And we do have these 250 licensees who are licensing our patents and utilizing them in the different areas. They are listed some of those areas where we are doing the active licensing activities. So what comes this IPHatch program, you will not get the patents what we are doing the licensing, but there is still a lot of patents what have not utilized anywhere yet. And those will be put available through this program to you. And here is showing some of our activities, and you see that there is an IPHatch program. And so what we are providing here to this program is the patents what we are not utilizing ourselves. And I can guarantee you that there are a lot of good innovation coming from Nokia, and we do want to encourage our researchers to file a good patent application, and we are applying those patents because it's encouraging them to be innovative in the company. And later on we are analyzing which we keep, which we are making products ourselves, and what we are doing the licensing. So that's all what I have today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Jari Variel. What an insightful presentation from both companies. If you'd like to learn more about the technology they can share with the startups, stay tuned for the portfolio sharing later. Next, we will move on to the panel discussion segment. Please join me in welcome Jason, CEO of Peace Future, who will be our moderator, along with the rest of our panelists to the stage.
All right, so it's exciting time now because we're going to share a lot of insights from the corporates and also the experts here, and also our institution fund manager here from Japan Fund. So maybe we'll start off by getting 2 of them who has not, introduced themselves to actually give a quick introduction of yourself. Maybe we start off from the far left.
My name is Ryoji Nishimura. I should be sitting on the center side. Oh, it's okay. Anyway, I'm from Japan Fund, which is some of you may know that this is the Japanese sovereign wealth fund, which is 90% of our LP is the Japanese government, and rest of 10 is Japanese corporate. And we are working as the investment activities, which consist of the cool Japan kind of things. I actually even myself cannot define what is the cool Japan, but in terms of what we think is that we want to enhance those Japanese SMEs to go abroad in terms of Japanese food and beverage or IP or the manga kind of things. What we all help those Japanese SME to go abroad. And the other side, we also support some of the inbound startups. Like in Taiwan, we invest into KKday and Bpong, etc. So we have some Taiwanese investees as well. And the reason I'm here is that I am the supporter of the IPHatch, which will be announced later. And I think from the investors' point of view, IP is one of the important things for those startups. Sorry, that's about it.
Thank you, Nishimura-san. Indeed, Cool Japan Fund, when I first hear about the name, is really very cool.
The name is cool, but I don't know what the activity
Well,
is.
from your description, I think it's very cool. Over to you, Anita, to give an introduction of yourself.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Anita Chen from Star Terrace. And so for Star Terrace, it's actually a central government project supported by the Ministry of Economic Affairs Taiwan. We do have a pavilion just right next to the entrance. So hope that later after the panel, you still get some time to pay a visit. So what we do is that we have two main approaches. One is to the corporate engagement. So in this part that we do help startup to work with corporates in any kinds of ways. The other one that we do international cooperation. So for international cooperation, we have two another approaches. One is inbound program that we invite international startup to Taiwan to find any kinds of partner. And the other way that we also hope Taiwanese startup can expand their overseas market through our help. So that's basically what we do.
Thank you. And definitely, they are our partner in Taiwan, and we hope that more and more startups will join our program and also participate through to Startup Terrace and to make new innovations. All right, so today we have a very exciting topic because we are talking about how we should leverage on technology and IP to accelerate startup growth, right? And of course, we have the renowned speakers here who will actually share with you their insights on how it is actually one of the very key requirements in deep tech companies. All right, so without further ado, let me just shoot off the first question. The first question would be, how can startup best integrate new technologies and align their IP strategy to maximize efficiency and growth? And I think this question, how about Nakagawa-san?
Okay. For this question, I think there are two keywords. One is agile development. The second is partnership and alliance. So in order to have flexibly catch up the change of trends, the startup should have agile strategy. Then second one is to integrate new technology. Startups should think about partnership or alliance, for example, with university, big companies. So IP strategy is always important. But when startups think agile, the acquirement of IP could be postponed. But you have to have IP, especially when you think partnership. To have equal basis partnership, IP is always important. So startups should always be aware of importance of IP. So this is my thinking.
Thank you for summarizing the 2 points, agile and partnership. Yari, how about you?
Well, I think that there are two kinds of startups. One is what is starting from the business innovation, and one what is starting from technology innovation. And once you are talking of technology innovation-based startup, it's more like how you are creating business out of your technology. When you have a business innovation, then how you could utilize the technology to support that business and get that business ongoing. But either way, I would say that IP is something what the startups typically forget, and especially the patents, because it's very complicated topic. And for the technical based startups, it's an absolute must to have such a protection. And I can tell you in my early time when I was working in a startup company and we developed a product, what was fantastic product, and we wanted to introduce that for the bigger companies. They had to look on that and they realized that we didn't have any IP protection. So they just took the idea and implemented it by themselves. We have had only software over there and no any patents or anything. And the investors, they didn't get any money out of that startup activity.
Well, I think it's very good sharing. I think a lot of times startups are not looking at IP from the very early days, and usually they will have a lot of encounters with potential collaborators, investors. They will always be asking, "Do you any IP?" And usually the answer is, "Yes, we are going to file some." All right, which
Yeah, because from the investor's point of view, investors do the management interview, right? And we do interview the CEO, COO, maybe CFO, but we don't go to the CTO for the interview. So that's our problem as well, because investors does not challenge that much for the IP strategy of the startups. So that should have a change, and then the startup will change as well, I think.
well said. Well said. Yeah, I mean absolutely. I mean a lot of times dollar and cents come first. Then when they go into duty, then they will realize, oh, you are lacking something. Yes. Okay, so very good. I mean, since we are on that particular note, so maybe to Nishimura-san, what is the role of IP in attracting investors like you, and what value added you think the startups will see in a startup's IP value? I mean, startups IP.
Yes. From investors' point, like me myself is a capitalist, so I have some budget for the investment. And what attracts me is that, we don't know IP itself, right? We're the finance guys. So when you say IP, I didn't know what IP stands for. So it's an intellectual property. I know now, but what attracts us is that we don't go dig into the technology things. So, I think it's maybe Panasonic's IP, Nokia's IP that you are using, then we are pretty much attractive. I mean, investors want to see their patent originally from Panasonic or Nokia. Once we saw that, that's the plus point for our business due diligence. So to answer your question, that investors might be attracted by your IP. Of course, your own IP, we will dig into the technology things, but we don't know that. So more than that, the name value of those multinational companies' patent transfer to your patent, that will attract us, to tell the truth.
Awesome. That's very deep understanding. All right. Just to add on what Nishimura-san has said, I think one of the reasons why investors value corporate IP is because they spend a lot of money in R&D. A lot means not like a few $100,000. They spend millions of dollars into R&D, and the output is those patents. That's why investors like Nishimura-san will say, yeah, if you have, we trust you, we believe in you, because those technology are actually very well researched and very well drafted. Want to comment on that,
Well,
Yari?
maybe traditionally also IP and particularly patents take a time to get granted. And before it's granted, it doesn't have application too much value for the investors. The investors usually have to make a decision before it gets granted, whether they are investing in the company or not. And maybe traditionally that's why they have not looked these patents too much. However, I think that this is important like a benefit of this program, because over here the startups are able to get the granted patents, and those could be counted from early investors already. So that's an important point from my perspective.
Yes, absolutely. I think granted patent versus application, you have a guarantee that you can have the rights to it. All right. Next question I have is very important for all startups here, because this is what you probably want to know. What characteristics do corporations, investors, and ecosystem players look up in startups? Maybe start with Anita.
Okay, so firstly that I was usually asked that what Terrace is and how to define our role in the entire ecosystem, because we are not accelerator and we don't have technology, we don't have the fund to invest, we don't even have IP. So what are we? So we will call ourselves the startup ecosystem facilitator. So in this way that we do need to work with a lot of partners. So when you ask me that what factors that we expect they have for, I think for startup that we hope that, since as I mentioned, we hope that to help them to do the corporate engagement. So we do have startup a green tech challenge and the proof of concept project. In this way that we try to help the company to find the startup can solve the problem and to save the cost for the company. So we just need to use one word, the keyword will be the problem solving. So it's not only for a startup itself, but also for the team member in the group. So that's the curiosity we are looking for.
Oh, good. I mean, I think those are very important points, in terms of practical solving solutions and problem solving. How about Nakagawa-san? You have any, from a corporate viewpoint, what do you look out in startups?
Yeah, I agree to Anita. So team member and the founder is very important. So especially important points are how they are innovative and how they can differentiate. So that always required for startup to be able to adapt new technology into existing markets. So the important thing is whether or not member or founder has such a power or ability to make it. Yeah.
Yari?
Yeah, I think that when you are getting as a startup in the business, it's not typically so that you have immediately in the day first the clear idea how you make money. It's gradually growing over there by time. And for that growing process, you need to have this kind of feedback and mentoring and tutoring and all that kind of in your idea. And I think this is a part of the ecosystem as well, that whether you are part of that ecosystem where you can get the honest opinion on your idea and honest comments on which direction to go. I think this is very important as well. And I think this our IPHatch program is able to provide that guidance for the startups as well. And this is a part of the ecosystem, I would say, that what not all these kind of governmental bodies are not able to provide. You need there that is international companies, experienced business persons, and the previous startup owners before you are able to do that, and understanding what is then the IP role in all this game in the future.
Well, absolutely. I think totally agree with your viewpoint on that. And I believe that the ecosystem and also the experiences from the different people or partners, corporations, ecosystem partners, and also at the same time, the diversity, right, of international market is also very important. So I think that's one thing that we also hope to work with Startup Terrace, and also from Peace Future. We are in 10 different locations globally. We hope that this experience can be translated into guidance for the startup so that they can have that kind of characteristics that we are looking for. Nishimura-san, from the investor viewpoint, what do you
Yes, of
look
course,
for?
I have to see some cool Japan things in the
yes.
startups. No, well, when I do, let's say I would conduct a management interview, maybe twice a week right now. So what I see or what I want to hear from those startup entrepreneurs is that, of course, the enthusiasm, right? That's the most important thing. But the second point is that, the founder, well, typically does not have, understand the importance of the IP itself. Because founder is the founder, he knows the business, and he wants the ambition for the growth. But in terms of growth, you need to have some kind of the literacy in the IP area as well, especially you're the tech startups. Sometimes I ask manager, and what is your growth strategy? And he say, well, I go into the US market, European market, and even the China market. And what about your patent itself? Does it exist or whatever? And he said, patent, I think that's going to be the second issue. That's what he answers to me. But from us, that's the most important issue for me, right? So, well, yeah, again, so I just want to enhance that investors are now much more focusing on the IP strategy of the startup as well. That's why I can say that.
Thank you for your sharing. In fact, I think this is also some kind of learning points that I hear from some of my startups who are in the program. So definitely we will train them to think about their technology roadmap. All right, the technology roadmap means what are you going to develop in the next couple of years? All right, next year, where are you going to achieve? Which is the main breakthrough you're having? And of course, along with technology roadmap, that will come the IP strategy. You know, in each of your technology breakthrough, how many patents are you aiming to get? I mean, these are all like the corporate practices. It gives you a lot of value. And I think aligned with what Nishimura-san has just said, some of my startups who follow this route, they are like the blue-eye boy of the VCs because they have no doubts about these guys know technology. They have no doubts that these guys will be able to lock in the value into their IPs so that, you know, in the event, even if they fail, there is something for them to actually harvest from, which is the IP. All right, so I think that is very, very good sharing from all the panelists. Coming back to Taiwan, I think I'm very interested to know a little bit more about the current ecosystem landscape in Taiwan for technology startup. Maybe Anita, you can share more on that.
Okay, so maybe for your reference that talking about the numbers, if we're just talking about the numbers of startups in Taiwan, maybe anyone want to have a guess that, you know, how many startups in Taiwan we have? I mean, on the statistic, we have 7,800 something, so which is quite a lot, actually. I mean, I remember the number in Japan is like 8,000 something, but you need to do the comparison of our population. So it's quite a lot. You can see the entire ecosystem is greatly booming. And also, I think something very important is the government support. I say this not because I work for the government, because we do really see a lot of support that just for talking about the startup hubs, that we have almost 100 startup hubs in Taiwan. It's such a small island. We have a lot of hubs, and we have like almost like 70 or 80 accelerators running in Taiwan, internationally or from Taiwan. So we try to provide a lot of support for them. And that's for the startup part. And for talking about the field, the top 5 fields of startup here in Taiwan is energy, biotech, manufacturing, which is our advantage, our foundation, and also IT. So you can see that we do take our foundation as our advantage. We make use of it. And I think that's really great because that's a niche market internationally. And then talk about the investor part. So in Taiwan, that more than half of the invest fund are from CVC. So you can see that how those big corporates, that they value the new technology, new solutions, so they really need it. And that's the reason that they want to do the investment. Of course, they do the investment because they also want to make the profit, and they trust that new solutions will help them to grow their companies. So that's something that we can see the entire system is really vibrant and full of hope. So I just put some numbers for you to get more understanding about the landscape of Taiwan.
Oh, I'm very excited now.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, I made some kind of a survey and also market research. You know, before we actually we do plan to launch IPHatch in Taiwan since 2019.
And COVID came.
And COVID came. Yeah, I came here in December 2019, and 2020 we say, hey, let's start. Then let's start to lock down. That's what happened. Yes. And then we didn't manage to land in Taiwan for the last couple of years until early this year we restarted our plan. Of course, thanks to some very so-called spontaneous travel that I had in February when a friend invited me to come over for just a couple of days. Then I made some meetings and I met TCA and I met Anita as well. Amazingly, that's why we are here. Because I think The landscape, as I mentioned in my speech, the talent is great. The landscape of technology know-how is also very good. And we feel that we have a duty to bring the platform here because we can help the startups to be more stable in terms of having their own IP strategy and then to go global, through the different networks that we have in our IP-Hatch program, because now we're in 10 different locations. We work with government agencies around the world, like in the UK, we work with the government agencies there as well, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Japan. So I guess we can try to bring the value here and bring the technologies from the renowned companies like Nokia and Panasonic, to actually make more impact for society. So one very important question before we put up the crowd for any questions if they have. How do you see the interplay between technology, IP, and startup growth evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? We can start off with Anita.
So in the talking about, because I just want to follow that what I just mentioned, talking about we have the great amount of investment from the CVC. And what we do is try to link all the stakeholders together. So we actually try to introduce a lot of startups to CVC because they need the fund. And one of the dilemma is that some startup, they refuse that. It surprised us. You don't want money? That's creepy. But what they told us is that sometimes the sad story happened on them is that their technology got stolen by big corporate, since big corporate has more resources on apply for the IP. And so, during the dilemma of funding and their technology, so it actually kind of hinder their development. So what I see, but now I think even government, they see the problem as well. So we have more and more attention on this to encourage and to educate the startup to focus more the value about IP and then to do more cooperation. Maybe through your help, use more wisely way to work with big corporates on the technology cooperation. So that is something that we're doing. So I am kind of convincing that things will get better and they can have more healthier cooperation in the future.
Well, we definitely can play a role on that because
Yes.
our startups in our program are very well trained in IP. Super knowledge in terms of how they should interact their information with corporates. But maybe we should let the corporates speak about this topic as well, because I think you meet a lot of startups and there's a lot of technologies that they showcase to you. So maybe you can comment on what Anita said.
I believe the technology like AI will continue to advance in the future exponentially. So I think the question is that our opportunity will increase or saturated. I think it will be depends on how we can face to platformers like GAFA. So sorry. So we want to not only focus on niche market where GAFA, giant innovator, cannot reach, but also want to create disruptive changes. So in order to do so, I still think a combination between enormous resources in a big company like us and disruptive idea of startup is important. So when we make a collaboration to make a synergy, I think the importance of IP will increase more and more in future. So that is my view.
Gary?
Yeah, I would like to look at from this startup point of view and to think that what is your exit strategy? What you want your startups to grow to? So if you want to grow it to be acquired by the big company, you have a different strategy than when you are trying to grow the company as large as possible and you would like to acquire the other companies yourself. There is a different strategies, but whichever strategy you take, it takes a different time naturally. But then I think the IP is the core over there to get the value out of your company. So if you want it to be acquired by the big companies like a Nokia, we are acquiring a lot of startups all the time. It's the biggest deals they are now somewhere, but there are lots of smaller acquisition as well. A few millions to 10 million, something like that, valued acquisitions. For the big company, it's difficult to do the different technologies and to develop them. We are naturally trying to do that as our R&D is very big. But sometimes it's a new technologies. It's better developed by the startups and the smaller companies. And when they are getting certain level, maturity level, then the big companies are getting interested in them, either to do cooperation or acquiring them completely. But which way ever, I think that it's important to have IP protection for your system. Without IP, I don't believe that you will be successful in your exit story, at least if it comes with this big companies acquisition part. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I absolutely agree on that point. I think IP, if you want to be acquired, then make sure you have IP. All right. Nishimura-san.
Well, yeah, maybe your question is like a 5 to 10 year span, right? So maybe I think Anita just mentioned the open innovations from those multinational companies will increase in the 5 to 10 years span, I guess. Because in Japan, the government has declared the corporate governance code, which requires those Panasonic or Toyota or the big companies to utilize their hydrogen patent more and more. Although it's not forcible, but it is government has declared this corporate governance code. So, which I mean is that during this 5 to 10 years, at least in Japan, the open innovation activities will increase. So that's why a startup has a more chance to acquire those multinational companies' patent. Not acquire, but accept or whatever, utilize, I should say. So that's the startup's point of view. And from the investor's point of view, we have to change as well. Because nowadays, how do we evaluate the value of the startups? Maybe, let's say, EBITDA multiple, price-sales ratio, or whatever. But that's only the numbers. So we cannot dig into what kind of patent that they have. And if we can evaluate those patents to the enterprise value, then investor can offer much more higher price than right now, right? So we have to change also. But again, the open innovation will increase, I think.
Well, I'm very, very surprised and very positive about what Nishimura-san just said, because he's one of the few VCs that will say, we have to change. Really very cool, all right? I think because of time, we have to come to a close for the panel. I would like to express my thanks to all the distinguished panelists and for the sharing and the very, very good insights to the startups here. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much for our panelists for the wonderful discussion. I believe all the startups are now better equipped with IP information. If you still have any questions, and you know who to ask for later on. So now, let's welcome IPHatch startups on CU Coding and Ed and Engage Nova, along with Jason, to the stage.
Okay, so good afternoon, Anita again from Taiwan Star Terrace. And like I just mentioned that we're running the largest international startup cluster in Taiwan. So it's our pleasure to have two startups that flew from Singapore and Hong Kong to Taiwan, participate the event, and also share their story. So before I would like to invite Yoping and Odas to maybe briefly introduce yourself. Maybe we start first.
Hello. It's good to be back in Taipei. My name is Ju Pian. Those who actually want to talk to me later can call me JP. My company is Engage Nova. So the story is I actually started out with my partners many years ago doing ERP system, SAP and Microsoft Dynamics. Then we have customers start asking about how about people who actually in the field, those who actually work in, for example, construction site, manufacturing plant, warehouse, what technology are we going to give them to actually so-called allow them to do their job? So we actually were sourcing for the solutions, and we want to look for some technologies that we can provide to these people. And then at the same time, we have customers also ask about scheduling and routing so-called technologies. So we were looking for it, and we chanced upon this series of IP that actually was so-called put in the table for us to leverage. So the technology, the patent is actually from Panasonic. So we decided to actually explore using the technology, and then we actually pitched for the patents. So we were very fortunate to actually become one of the winners, and then we were being assigned the patent by Panasonic. The patent that we actually gotten from Panasonic is a routing and scheduling patent. It's a process that actually based on the travel salesman problems. If you know about mathematical travel salesman problem, it's actually based on that. So we actually make use of the patents for our customers in fleet management and service scheduling. So that is actually what we do. And Panasonic also don't just look at how we make use of the patents. They also look at how we actually expand our business using the patents. So we eventually go into field service. So we actually provide technologies to customers, and we actually put technology solution into smart devices like this. So for example, I can wear this, and then I can actually give voice command. For example, now please smile. My camera. Take photo. So I'm actually taking photo without any hand signal. So these are actually some of the technology solution that we actually write in smart devices to actually help the field service people. So that's what Engage Nova do. And later maybe I can talk a little bit more about how we actually achieve that.
Thank you, Yoping. I was trying to leave it for later, to let you know that what patent that you have got from Panasonic, but you just can't wait to reveal it. But feel free to experience the product that he brought from Singapore, right? So, and also that please, Odas, can you also introduce yourself? And if you cannot wait, also share what patent that you have got through IPHatch's help.
Yeah, my name is Odas Ng, the CEO of CU Coding. CU Coding is a spin-off from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. We have founders, besides me, another 4 professors in a very unique algorithm called network coding for the last 20 years. This technology is endorsed by the government with more than 100 million Hong Kong for research over the last 10 years. But however, for this kind of deep tech research, we find it not really easy to go into the market, even though we are targeting the edge cloud business market. So fortunately, in year 2020, we have a chance to attend the IPHatch commission, and we won 2 Nokia patents, which is more IoT sensor related. So with this IP, we fine-tune our solution to be more specific on IoT applications, and we do have a very successful rollouts in Hong Kong and even Guangdong for the smart factories, smart buildings, leveraging these IoT patents to advance our edge cloud storage applications. So that makes our landing to the market much more successful with a lot of customer that happy with this total solution. Thank you.
Did you also get some funding because of that?
Yeah, of course. I think we've got, besides some investment funding, the customer contracts are even more important because the ongoing supporting our business grow with customer traction and keep growing the customer revenues.
Okay, that sounds really awesome because we don't just invite the IP releasers here. We invite the one who get the benefit from the IP as well here. And so I'm sorry that your testament can be only really short because we have the time limit. I got noticed that we have only 2 minutes left. Yep. So maybe just some sentence for Taiwanese startup, because finally IPHatch is going to launch in Taiwan. So Taiwanese startup that also can have the chance to benefit from the program. So any advice or any insights you want to share with us?
Okay, I think when you actually explore the IP from whichever MNC, I think first thing is to read it carefully. And the best thing if you have some knowledge about the IP, related knowledge or some interest in the IP. And having said that, at least for Engage Nova, we were also very lucky. We have customers who are looking for similar solution. So we actually make use of the IP with our solution and give it to the customers. And finally, I think important is actually to have a team of people who actually work together with you, be it external party or your own founding teams. I think it's good to have them because when you are looking at the IPs, resource and time is actually important. So you need to have the teams who help work together with you.
Thank you. How about
I think I would like to share one of the recent success that we've got the IP, got the customer endorsement, and then we have a chance to go global, and we establish our Canada office in March this year, and also our technology is going to open source with a community version. That this version is accepted by Linux Foundation as a standardized edge cloud storage project. I think this kind of achievement is all because of the IPHatch and our experience along the road.
Thank you, and congratulations for the achievement, lately achievement. So thank you so much, and thank you these 2 guests flew from Hong Kong and Singapore to be here to testament. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Addis and Jupin and Anita for such wonderful discussion. So now let's welcome Jason to the stage to share a little bit more about the IPHatch program.
Okay, are you guys excited? Because we're going to kind of launch the 5 portfolios that we will be offering in Taipei. All right, so these are 5 innovative patents originating from leading technology giants like Panasonic and Nokia. So in IPHatch Taipei, we will spotlight, all right, advancements across 3 different sectors, all right? And they are the computing, imaging, and digitalization. Each of these sectors represent a cornerstone of modern technological development, and these patents we acquired will drive substantial progress with them. So in the area of computing, all right, we have patents for cloud computing and enterprise resource planning. Our patents will enhance the efficiency and security of cloud-based services, facilitating seamless data storage, processing, and accessibility. This will benefit businesses by providing scalable resources and robust infrastructure for various operations. For our imaging patterns, we have patterns that can recognize objects, digital forensic, and medical imaging. All right, digital forensics, as you can say, is an enhanced imaging technology that will aid in the investigation and analysis of digital evidence. Mass medical imaging improve the security of diagnostic images. So if you are startups in these different areas, you can use it in the healthcare, in the data analytics. So it's really up to you on how you interpret these patterns to incorporate into your business. And lastly, we have the digitization portfolios that includes virtual reality and digital asset management. All right, the virtual reality patterns revolutionize VR technologies, giving you more immersive and realistic experience that will probably help you in your gaming, your education, your training, and providing users with highly interactive and engaging environments. Right. So we are very thrilled to bring these three categories of patterns to the startups in Taiwan, and hopefully you guys can actually study them and see how you can use them in your startup and then use them to scale your business. A little bit more, if you don't see anything there that's suitable for you, don't be too disheartened, all right? Send in your application with your pitch tag and the area of technology that you would want, and we will actually see what we can take out from our IP bank to match for you, all right? And that is Portfolio X. Because many years we run this program, many times the startups say, hey Jason, we really want to join the program, but somehow we don't have a fit in the patent portfolios. So that's why we came out with Portfolio X. And just now you hear the two special startups that flew in to this particular event. They shared some of their journey with you. Feel free to actually reach out to them more, all right, because they will be able to tell you about their journey and also share with you their growth, so-called different growth experiences that they have, and also the IP owners here, and also Nishimura-san. So some of the startups you have, we're not just deep tech, we're also looking to fintech. I have startups using Panasonic and Nokia's technology into fintech, like this company. Amazing. They are using making algorithms and incorporating that into their business. We have IoT. This company is very exciting because they do bar solutions, IoT for bars, where you know how much liquor has been drinking dynamically, globally, all right? And they have all these sensors built up. We have an ARI company as well. They are doing generative AI for fashion design, based in the UK. Very exciting company as well. I'm looking forward to see whether they can design something special for myself. And then finally, we also have a company like this, which is a very exciting company that we have because the founder is a pilot, lost his job during COVID, and decided to make his own toy. All right, it's a very, very tough journey, but yes, that is the design of his flying, really passenger drone that he's trying to deploy. And please look out in our website, all right, our LinkedIn page. Basically, we have a lot of different activities that will be coming up. We will be doing a lot of education and mentorship workshop. All those are free and also very insightful. We have many different sharing from corporates, professionals, and we also have a hackathon, which is, we call it an IP-Hatchathon. It's an intensive session with mentors to help you to review your business model and help you to see how to integrate the IPs into your business. And then finally, we will have the application deadline on the 18th of October and the pitch day in November. All right, so this is a schedule, so look out for our information. And if you're successful, other than we assigning you the patents, you will also get the 5-year incubation program from us, where we will be helping you in your market expansion in the 10 locations that we are having. And of course, I'm very excited now because Taiwan is the 10th location, which is awesome, all right? And then we have a mentorship, advisory, global community, and further technology portfolios if you need from the corporates. And finally, we have partners. We have also a VC fund, all right, which we will also be looking into further investing into the startup that have proven themselves and that have gone on to the growth stage. So who are we looking for? All right, so technology startup for sure. All right, we are very early stage. We look for startups from seed stage to pre-A. All right, that's probably the most common startups that come forward. We do have Series A startup, like Elders just now, CU Coding. He recognized the advantage of having patents from corporate, and then he joined us, even at a late stage. All right, innovation-driven startup are looking to look at new technologies. Startup with a focus on technology not limited to advanced manufacturing, smart cities, IoT, digitization, and healthcare. All right, so pretty broad. And this just some past pictures. Due to time, I'm just going to skip to this slide. So if you want to find out more information, you can go to our website, iphatch.org. The application is already online. You can sign up and you can get more information. If you need any particular queries that you want to answer, just send into our email. With that, I'm looking forward to your application. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Now we have come to the end of our forum. Thank you so much once again for being here, and we look forward to seeing you in our program and the workshops. Thank you, and have a nice evening.